I want to start this season with a confession. For years, I sit across many women in clinic, look at her effort, see that she is doing everything right, and think to myself, this doesn't add up. She's eating less than her husband, she's moving more than her husband, and her husband probably lost 15 pounds just by walking across the kitchen. Meanwhile, she's fighting for every single pound like it owes her money. And the old me, early on, might have quietly wondered maybe she wasn't telling me everything, but I'm embarrassed by that now. And real quick, in case this is the first episode you're listening to, I'm Dr. Brian. I'm an obesity medicine physician trained in family medicine as well. And obesity medicine physician is just a fancy way saying I work in weight management. I do this all day, every day. Real people, real bodies, real life, not labs, not lectures. So when I tell you the female body plays by a different rule book, it's because I've watched her across many different exam rooms. Because the truth was that she was never lying. Nobody ever taught me or her that the female body plays an entirely different game. Same sport, but completely different rule book. That's actually why I treat the person in front of me and not the number I see on the scale. A weight on a scale tells you almost nothing about the body it came from. Two women can weigh the exact same weight and be living in two completely different bodies with completely different reasons behind it. So I don't treat the scale, I treat her. And we've been handling women by the men's rule book for about 50 years and then acting confused when it doesn't work. So this season, we're throwing that rule book out. But first, before any of the biology, I need you to hear this. What women carry is unreal. I'm not saying this to be sweet. I'm saying it because I watch it. A woman will run on 3 hours of broken sleep, manage a household that lives entirely inside her own head, remember everyone's appointments, everyone's allergies, everyone's emotional weather, push through cramps that would put most grown men flat on the floor. And then they walk into my office and apologize for being 5 minutes late. There is no reason for them to apologize to me. I see my wife go through this every single day, and I do appreciate her, even though she doesn't believe it. And somewhere along the way, somebody told her her body's the problem, that she needs to be more disciplined. Let's talk about what's actually going on. Let's start with estrogen because estrogen runs way more of the show than people realize. One of its jobs is deciding where your body stores fat. When estrogen is doing its thing, fat tends to park in the hips and thighs. And look, I know nobody's throwing a party about that either, but biologically, that's how it works. That's actually the safer fat. It's not the dangerous stuff. Then estrogen can shift after a baby across the months, and it shifts big time heading into perimenopause and menopause. And when it shifts, the body picks up all that storage and moves it to the belly. That's not you eating wrong. That's a moving company you never hired, showing up and rearranging your furniture. And we'll talk about belly fat more in detail in another episode. Now, the part nobody explains, and it honestly drives me crazy, is that a man's body runs on about a 24-hour cycle. Wake up, repeat, pretty much the same guy every day. A woman's body runs on a 28-day cycle. 28 days, which means hunger, energy, cravings, sleep, mood, even how much water you're holding on to, all of it moves depending on where you are on that month. First half of the month, estrogen's climbing, you feel good, sleep's better, food feels easy. You're like, oh, I've cracked the code. Second half, different women entirely. Progesterone comes up, hunger comes up with it, and suddenly you want carbs like they owe you an apology. Your body's literally prepping you for a possible pregnancy. So It pulls you toward energy. That's biology. That is not weakness. Then, right before your period, everything drops. You bloat up. Your mood might change. Your sleep gets terrible. And you may feel like you need to eat everything. Every single month, they have to deal with that. And women spend years going, "What's wrong with me?" Nothing. Nothing is wrong with them. You're just living in a body that runs on a monthly update, and nobody ever gave you the patch notes. Now, stack stress on top of that. When you're stressed, your body pumps cortisol, and cortisol loves parking fat right in the belly. But here's where it's rigged against women: you carry a different kind of stress, the never off kind, the mental tabs that never close. Even when both people work, the load of running the whole household in the background tends to land on her. So the cortisol never really clocks out. And then, what's the advice that you get? Go on a diet. So you start restricting, and your body reads restriction as you guessed more stress, more cortisol. So the body starts storing belly fat again, and you're getting punished for trying even harder. And that's the part that gets me. Women sleep lighter and get waken up more by kids, by stress, by a partner who maybe snores or just making any movements in bed. Shout out to my wife. Just kidding. And here's what bad sleep can do chemically: it cranks up ghrelin, your hunger hormone, and it turns down leptin, your I'm full hormone. So after a rough night, you're not just tired, you woke up hungrier and less able to feel full. That's not in your head. That's your hunger chemistry that literally got rewritten overnight while you were trying to sleep. And then somebody hands you a salad and goes, "Just listen to your body." Her body is yelling, "Feed me," because it's pretty sure it didn't survive the night. Quick one on a muscle, because it matters more than people give credit for. Men start with more of it when they're born. Muscle burns more energy just sitting there doing nothing. So men got a head start before either of you even gets out of the bed. Women starts with less and actually lose it faster, especially from endless cardio and eating too little. And what's the classic advice that a lot of women get handed? Eat less, do more cardio, eat no carbs. That slowly burns the muscle off. The metabolism drops right along with it. And then she blames herself for a metabolism that got sabotaged by the exact plan she was told to follow. All that noise out there. And we're going to fix this in this season as well. And one thing we can also mention is childbearing. I have to take this one slow because I've got a lot of feelings about it. A woman's body builds an entire human from scratch. Men contribute maybe like 5 minutes. And it reshapes her hormones, her metabolism, her gut, all of it. And then, while she's running on zero sleep and recovering from the single most demanding thing a body can do, somebody has a nerve to ask, "So when are you going to lose that baby weight?" The audacity. And my wife will call me out on that a lot, but I just say it's a joke. The body just pulled off a miracle. It deserves a sandwich and a nap, not a deadline. And then comes midlife, perimenopause, menopause. Men, we gotta pause. It's literally in the name. Don't say anything that will get you in trouble. Where every rule that used to kind of work just stops working overnight with no warning shot. So for now, I'll just say this: you're not imagining it. The rules change. That's not you failing. That's biology doing something it has never done to your body before. So, what are we actually going to do with all this? First, stop comparing. Stop measuring yourself against your husband, your friends, against your 25-year-old self, against some woman online whose sleep and hormones and life you know absolutely nothing about. Second, stop treating your body like the enemy. It's not sabotaging you. it's protecting you based on everything it's been through. And third, learn your own system, not to hack it, not to dominate it, just enough to stop blaming yourself for stuff that has a real physical explanation. Because the second you understand your system, you stop hating yourself for it. And here's where I want to land. People call women the weaker sex. And every time I hear it, I almost laugh. Because when I hear weaker, and you know that they run on a 28-day hormonal cycle for 40 years, build humans, recover from childbirth, walk straight into menopause, and keep showing up for everybody the entire time, that's not weakness. That's the strongest thing I see in medicine. And I think most men quietly know it. We just don't say it loud enough. So I'll say it. What women carry is extraordinary. And you deserve someone who actually gets that, not someone reducing you to a number on a scale or a willpower problem. That's what this whole season's for. We're going to walk through all of it, the monthly cycle, the belly fat that shows up uninvited, the sleep, the stress, the muscle, the menopause years that flip the whole table over, and what actually helps from someone who takes this seriously because I watch women fight this every single day. So make sure you follow on this show so you don't miss any episodes. And if this one hit home for someone you love, make sure you send it to her because sometimes the most powerful thing you can give a person is a feeling of finally being understood. And I'll see you in the next episode. Have a great day.